recognition across continents, across cultures. There is the Four Guardians theme. You see it repeated over and over again, suggesting a deep, ancient, and shared spiritual sentiment, right? And so, but I gotta say, the Nile Valley is the mother of them all. And so, is this shared ancient wisdom or just coincidence? I think it is shared ancient wisdom, and everybody got their knowledge one way or the other from the Nile Valley culture. What's going on, Soul Zen? Shout out to the fam. What's going on? Yeah. All right. And she got a great shopping page. Check her out. Check her out on YouTube. She's great. Soul Zen. She does a lot of shopping and everything. A lot of fun. Now I can't shop like that, but pretty cool. All right. Now let's get it. The legacy of the Sons of Horus. Now, we notice when we discuss, we see it everywhere in almost every place. We see the guardian angels. Matter of fact, in the Coptic church, we talked about the Ethiopian Orthodox Tawahedo church and the Coptic church about a few weeks ago. And the Coptic church, you see that influence, right? With the guardian angels at the four corners of Christian iconography. You see that. And in the African diaspora, you see the four corner altar setups in, say, Vundun, in Hoodoo and Palo, right? You see that. Also in modern spirit, in modern sense, right? Mseti, he's basically asking us to remember our roots, remember who we are. Happy, telling us to speak the truth. Jamutef tells us guard what you consume, be it physically, mentally, and emotionally. And Kapsaneth, release the unnecessary, right? And so the Sons of Horus were more than, say, funerary ornaments. They are living forces of protection and balance. So their story is our story, in my opinion. For our journey of the soul, in a sense, is connected to them. And so we're gonna. I really. Oh, thank you, Sozin. Thank you. She gave a I think it's a super chat. I really appreciate it. She says you love her channel. I really appreciate you guys for a point. This is bonus content, by the way. I did not have any intention of coming out today. So I'm saying, school just started last week, and I'm doing teacher stuff. But the Ujumbe fam and people that support the channel, I had to do something for the fam. So yeah, we got to deal with some other stuff. We got to deal with the Hall of Two Truths, the weighing of the heart, and all these things. We got to deal with that, right? And so, but get this though, yeah, we're gonna talk about the twin sphinx. All right, we're gonna talk about that next week. Next week, we're gonna talk about the twin sphinx or mysteries, the ancient guardians of the horizon, and the hidden code. I read something. Okay, I read in the. I looked at the dream stele about Tutmosis Jehuti-Mesu IV. I looked at the dream stele, and it had two Haru and Maket. He had two sphinxes. I want to know what's that about, right? I want to know. And so, and also, I keep seeing this. This is an awesome representation here. Okay, Brother Mo's gonna be sick. It is what it is, bro. Sorry, Brother Ferguson, I got to do it. This is another representation of the two sphinxes here. I love this design here. It has life right in the middle. It has Heteru right here. Okay, we have a worshiper here or somebody meditating and praying or whatever. And we have the physical representation of the Haru and Maket. We have one that's looking at the past. Then one is looking forward into the future. I had to break something down. I couldn't help it. I had to break down some kind of science. I had to do it. I couldn't help myself. Yeah, Hoop Daddy said, yeah. And in the middle, that is the Aket. That is the horizon. You see what I'm saying? They're looking at the past, looking at the future, but also they're focused right here and now. You see what I'm saying? All right. Just a little bit. But now, and get this though. The Kemetic Nation. We chopped it over the Kemetic Nation a couple of months ago, where they broke down the Jed pillar and everything. The Kemetic Nation is returning. Yeah. Right before I take September off, part of September for the latter part of September, Kemetic Nation is going to come back and talk about the connection between Kush and Kemet and South. Man, yeah, the Committed Nations coming back, and I'm excited about that, and it's gonna be fun. And so we're gonna chop it up with them. And I forgot some books. Got some books. Egypt, the book coming for by day, and the death and salvation in ancient Egypt. Check it out. And get this, the complete gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt. Get that. And if you're interested in the ancient pyramid text or the coffin text, get this book. All right. R.O. Faulkner. The coffin text, though, is a pretty penny. I'm not gonna lie to you, but the affiliate links are in the description. Check it out. But here's our book. We're dealing with this on Thursdays or every other Thursday. We're breaking down Ethiopians in History by Richard Pankhurst. That's our book. And the thing is, yes, I like to get into comedic science. I like to get into symbolism and everything, but it's all for nothing if we don't connect it with a book or some sort of source of knowledge. And speaking of that, let me get off this screen. Now, I'll get to that in a second. Hold on. But now, I'm doing a roll call. I got to do the roll call. Got to do it. I got to check roll, right? All right, here it is. First, we got to shout out our beloved Ujumbe members. Okay. Sister I've been a Scott. Shout out to Brother Mo. And yeah, Brother Mo, he's putting in work, y'all. He is doing a great job. He's doing some study and research. He's trying to level up in his career. And I can't be mad at him. You see what I'm saying? When it's time to level up, you do that. You see what I'm saying? And so shout out to Brother Mo, but Brother Ferguson, he got a lot of catching up to do. I'm not gonna lie to you. But shout out to Brother Isu, One Voice Africa. I think he's from Canada, so shout out to the fam. And join the membership. You see what I'm saying? Join the Ujumbe membership because they made this bonus episode possible. Join the membership. They get all the detail. They get all the new videos that come out before everybody else. And speaking of that, the members, you got to help me. Next, this fall, should we get into the African origin of civilization by Cheikh Ujumbe, or the Kingdom of Kush, okay, by Derek Wellesby? Members, let me know. All right, let's get it. Now, here we go. Shout out to Tiarka, NBA Studio, Celeste Moran, check and roll, by the way, Taste Quality, Sister Linda, and Baba Yakia Shabaka. Shout out to him. We are going to have a great discussion about the carnival when he shows up. I'm gonna let him cook. I'm gonna let our beloved elder cook. He's an inspiration. He's great. He's awesome. Yeah. All right. Check out the joke. We're gonna see what the membership say. We're gonna see what they say, Library Without Borders. We're gonna see what they say. Because membership has its privileges. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, check out the joke. Okay. I hear you. So Celeste Moreau, Taste Quality, Sister Linda, Baba Yakia, Mia Place, Joan Carmi, Cosmic Sankofa, and the alumni. Shout out to the Ujumbe alumni who's been rolling with us for the last year. Black on Black, shout out to him. King Pharaoh 7683, Valerie J, Spiritual Tune, Jennifer C, Black Buddha. If you are present and I didn't call your name, comment here. All right. Comment here. Shout out to Soul Zena for coming through. Check her channel out. Oh, and also check out Baba Yakia's channel, Sister Danita Smith's channel. Okay. They're awesome. All right. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah, Twin Sphinx. Yeah, that's loading. Yeah, but I got something else. Shout out to Firmo, 50% off promo code. These glasses, I got them for Firmo. Get them. 50% off. The promo code is RJQ E50. RJQ E50. Yeah, I'm no problem. Soulzine is saying thank you. Said no problem because I if it's good content, it's good content. You know what I'm saying? I don't subscribe to everybody, and I hope you guys are not blindly subscribing or following people. If it's good, it's good. And she has a great shopping channel. She knows all the deals and everything. So, but she does a lot of shopping. I can't do that. But yeah. So now, if you like the content, share it with somebody that may enjoy it or your social media of choice. Check this out. Don't just share it to anybody. You see what I'm saying? That may or may not like it. Share it to somebody that you know that's gonna like it. All right. Now, I got a bonus. I have a bonus. We talked about the Guardians of the Afterlife, the Secrets of the Four Sons of Horus. But yeah, hold on. See, I still got some papers. I still got something. Hold on. I had to do it. I had to do it. Yeah, here we go. Anubis speaks. This is the bonus. On top of the bonus. Anubis speaks. We talking about ritual, resurrection, and the four sons of Horus. I had to do it. I had to do it for the ancestors and everything. And you know, it's only right. So I had to get down with to get down. Let's go. So today, in a sense, or tonight, for the remainder, we're going to talk about the silence of the embalming chamber. But we got to listen carefully, because in that silence there are echoes, there are voices, the voices of priests, the voices of the Neteru, the ancestors, and above all, Anubis or Anupu. All right, the guardian of the ancestors, right? So our focus is, yes, the four sons of Horus, the mysterious guardians placed within the body of placed in the deceased, or their organs or their essence is put into canopic jars. And we're going to deal with the esoteric meaning of the mummification process. So we're going to see how the priest transformed this body into that temple, and how Anupu spoke words of power over the ancestors. And how this sacred space was a drama of the Osirian resurrection. So get this: the body as a temple of the cosmos. For the Kemetic people of the Nile Valley culture or the African culture, the body was more than, say, flesh and bone. It was a sacred vessel, a temple built in harmony with the ancestors, with the cosmos. So to embalm and mummify was not necessarily to cling to the past, but to preserve and to restore that divine blueprint that was within that body. See what I'm saying? And so the pyramid text says, "You shall not decay, you shall not rot, your flesh shall be like that of the Neteru, enduring forever." Mummification was therefore a spiritual and sacred science, aligning the deceased with eternity, preparing them to rise as an imperishable star, as perfection, right? And so we had of course, we talked about it before, but the four sons of Horus is also the inner guardians. We put the organs in a jar, but they also represent the inside. At the core of this is transformation. It is transformation where the four sons of Horus reside. So Seti, the human-headed guardian of the liver, protected by Isis or Aset. Happy, the baboon-headed guardian of the lungs, protected by Nephthys. Jamutef, the jackal-headed Neteru, guardian of the stomach, protected by Net. And Kebsunef, the falcon-headed guardian of the intestines, and protected by Serket. Each one was more than, say, a protecting the organs, but they safeguarded faculties or aspects of a human's consciousness: the memory, the breath, the nourishment, and renewal. See what I'm saying? And so we're going to get to that priesthood in a second, though. But the coffin text, I didn't have the slide for it. The coffin text says Horus has given you his four sons that they may guard you, so that you live and breathe through them. And they are placed at the corners of the sarcophagus. But also there's been times where they find those four jars on a shelf next to the sarcophagus. And they are the pillars of eternity, in the sense establishing the deceased at the center of the duat, of the cosmos, right? And so now the priests of resurrection, the priesthood, Brother Ferguson, we like to deal with the priesthood and everything. I had to go and do that. I had to go and do that. The embalming was performed by priests who stepped into divine roles. That is a sacred rite, and that is a sacred duty, be it in the ancient past or even in the modern time, to deal with our loved ones like that. That's sacred. And so the Shem priests wore the leopard skin cloak, the spotted pattern symbolizing the stars in the sky. And the priest was one who crossed the boundary between the human and the divine, and his words restored life. It was very silent, but the things that he said had some weight. And in the book of Coming Forth by Day, we can hear this priest speak. He says, I have come as your protector. I have restored to you your mouth that you may speak with the Neteru. Okay. And we also have the hands of Anubis. Now, other priests acted as the hands of Anupu. Their words were not their own, but the Neteru and the ancestors. To wrap the body was to weave divine speech around and around and around the deceased. And of course, the book of Coming Forth by Day explains this. Words spoken are a protection. Words spoken are binding. Our words have power. Words spoken are a sealing against decay. Every layer of linen was cloth and power. But now let's hear what Anupu has to say. Let's hear what he has to say. In the pyramid text, Anupu, he says, Anubis, this God, the Lord of the divine booth, who is in you, has embalmed you. He has wrapped you with the bandages of Renewal Horus. He has made your body like that of the Neteru. That's the pyramid text. Now, in the book of Coming Forth by Day, it says, I am Anupu, who comes to you. I bandage you with protection. I guard your body entirely. Nothing evil shall come against you. He's there to protect you. For I stand as your shield. And in the coffin text, it says, it is Anubis who speaks. I have come to embalm you, to restore your limbs, to make firm your body, to make you young again forever. Now, this is the voice that filled, say, the mortuary temples, those sacred chambers. It wasn't silence, but it was the ancestors and Anubis speaking to proclaiming resurrection and rebirth. And of course, we have the ritual chamber, the pure, and they call it the place of purity or the pure place. The embalming house or the wabet or pure place was more than, say, a mortuary workshop. It was a womb. And we saw that in Hatshepsut's temple, where when, even though the whole thing was a mortuary complex, but there was one sacred space there. It was designed for that purpose. It was designed to be that womb, to go from Osiris and become Ra or Amun. You see what I'm saying? Become, in a sense, or depends on the era, become Heru into Osiris. Okay, so it was a cosmic womb, a place of primal. It was a reflection of the primeval mound, or the waters of Noon, where creation first began. Every act within a mirror creation, cleansing with natron and separation of chaos and order, anointing with oils, with the infusion of divine essence. Bandaging was weaving together threads and threads and threads of eternity. So to step into the Wabet as a priest, as a Kari Heb, okay, was a step outside of time into the eternal first moment of creation. See what I'm saying? And so the opening of the mouth, the reawakening of the soul. The climax of mummification was the opening of the mouth ritual. The priest touched the mouth and eyes with sacred tools, restoring its senses. But this was more than, say, biology. It was a reanimation of the divine faculties. To speak again was to command reality. To see again was to behold the light of the hidden one. To breathe again was to share in, say, eternal life. The pyramid text described this moment. Your mouth is opened by Ptah. Your mouth is opened by that with which he opened the mouth of the Neteru. So the priest's touch was a spark of renewal. And then they represented the four corners of eternity. You see what I'm saying? You see the hall of judgment right here. And we have all the Neteru. There was 20, I think, to my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's 24. You don't see all 24 up here. But we have the scales of Ma'at right there, and you have the heart of the Ab right here, and the feather of justice. And Jehuti is is writing everything down. But the four sons of Heru were stationed at the cardinal points, Imseti in the south, Happy in the north, Jemuteth in the east, and Kabasineth in the west. Together they formed a protective circle, holding chaos at bay, holding Apet at bay. In this sacred compass, the deceased stood at the center of the cosmos, aligned with Ma'at. I'm telling you guys, if you are into Stargate, check it out. If you are into what else? Assassin's Creed, check out Assassin's Creed Origin, Curse of the Pharaohs. That hits different. It's a great illustration of the Duat, right? Check it out. But the book of coming forth by Yeshua, the four sons of Heru, are placed at your sides. They're not there to oppose you. They're there with you. Why? Because your essence is with them. That you may not be touched by evil, that you may not be seized by chaos. And then we have Anubis at the hall of judgment. Even after embalming, Anubis is still there. He doesn't abandon the person. He doesn't abandon the ancestors in the hall of judgment. He weighs the heart against the feather of Ma'at. Of course, it deals with the 42 negative confessions and so on. But the book of coming forth by day includes a prayer that Anubis oversees. He says, "Oh, my heart, which I had from my mother. Oh, my heart of my different ages. Do not stand up against me as a witness. Don't speak against me. Do not oppose me in the tribunal. Do not be hostile against me in the presence of the keeper of the balance." Here, Anubis ensures the balance is fair, that the soul is not betrayed by its own heart. He is a protector, not only the body, but the truth of the soul. And so the esoteric, in a sense, the esoteric message or meaning of, say, mummification is when we listen to these voices, when we listen to the ancestors, we realize mummification was not about transition or death at all. The body was going to be transformed into a divine temple. The four sons of Heru preserved the soul's faculties. The priests became living embodiments of Anubis and Heru. Every bandage or everything was sacred. Okay, it was a sacred word, every ritual and echo of creation, right? And so, and Anubis himself spoke, declaring, "I have come to embalm you, to restore your limbs, to make you young again forever." The process was rebirth, y'all. It passes through chaos into eternal life. So, in a sense, we have the four sons of Heru. We have Anubis. Remind us that protection is not external, but woven into our DNA, woven into our very being. The voice of Anubis reminds us that death, in a sense, is not silence, but a dialogue between the soul and the ancestors in eternity. To stand before a mummy, in a sense, or the canopic jars, or the sons of Heru, is to stand at the threshold of a mystery. It's to hear Anubis whisper across time and saying, "I guard you, I restore you, you should not perish, but rise." This is the secret of the guardians of the afterlife. See what I'm saying? A sacred science of resurrection and wisdom that sought to align the human with the eternal. See what I'm saying? All right. Yeah, that was the bonus. That was the bonus. Listen to King Cam Ujumbe Podcast, Ujumbe Me's message. And we talked about a lot of things. We talked about the guardians, the guardians of the afterlife. We talked about the four sons of Heru. We even talked about Anubis speaks. All right, before because this is a school night. Yeah. on this good Sunday night or whatever. Are there any questions before I let you go? Okay. Are there any questions or anything that you would like for me to address really quick? But check this out. If you want to know more about the Book of Gates, I got a video for you. Check that out. If you want to know about the hidden code, the esoteric knowledge of Kemet and Nile Valley, I got a playlist for you. But before I turn you loose, I know I'm letting y'all out early. But before I let you go, are there any questions or concerns? Before I turn you loose, because I know I'm gonna have try to get Baba Yakya. I'm gonna try to bring him on. I'm gonna try to bring Command Nation on, and Tony. Oh, I forgot. Shout out to brother Tony Hawkins. Shout out to brother Tony Hawkins. He's gonna tell us his journey to Africa. Were the signs protected by goddesses? Yes. Yes, they were. Each one of them, each one of those, that's a good question. Sister Linda, she asked, Auntie asked, were the signs protected by the goddesses? Yes. Each one of those canopic jars was connected to a feminine energy. See what I'm saying? Each one of them were. Um, I just wrote it down somewhere. But each one of them, of course, Mseti was Aset, okay, and Happy was Nephthys. Jamutep um was Net, and Kaben Sunef was Serket. Okay, yes, they were all connected to a feminine energy, a female form. If there was a male, there had to be a female. You couldn't have one without the other. You couldn't. It was impossible in African custom and Kemetic science. A god needed a goddess, a king needed a queen, and so they needed those. Yes, yeah. Are there any other questions or concerns when I'm trying to find this in this trying to find that site that part where he break down the four cardinal points in the Stolen Legacy book? Oh, here it is. Here it is. In Stolen Legacy. In Stolen Legacy. There's four qualities of four elements and everything. I knew I was going to find it. All right. Okay. In Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. We did a series on this. Check it out. It's really good. But yeah, there are four qualities and four elements. The history of following the ancient theory of the four qualities and elements provide the world with the evidence of the Egyptian origin of the doctrines of opposites and contraries, change and transmutation. The life and function of the universe is due to either of four elements: fire or water or earth or air. Yep. He breaks it down. Yeah. Yeah. And it's page 80. Page 80. If you have the book. So yeah, so this is another good one. All right. Yeah. But all right, fam. If there's nothing else, you listen to King Cam Ujumbe Podcast. Once again, I really appreciate it. Next week we are going to talk about the twins, the twin. You just yeah, it is a great book. I'm telling you. Yeah. And I got a question. Do you guys think we need to revisit this? Do you think we need to revisit Stolen Legacy? Because do you think we have to spin the block on this one? Because we did a series, but I know that some of the alumni and some of the new people may want us to go further than that. Is Zephyr included with Anubis and with the mummy wrapping? I haven't seen it. However, Zephyr or Kephara was in the dawning or at the dawn. You see what I'm saying? In the ascension. So not in the mummification process. No. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna get back to that slide. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you that little diagram. Okay. All right. So right here, you see Zephyra or Kefera is at dawn. Okay, where remember that story when we brought down the story where Aset was trying to get the word from Ra, and through the hook about crook, she finessed that information. He said, I am. He basically broke it down. He said this. He said, I am. He told her, I am Kefera at dawn, I'm Ra at the midday, and I Ra Atum at sunset, and I'm Amun Ra at midnight. So Zepera, or a library without borders, Kala, is birth. Is at the very beginning. So in the spiritual sense, or in the resurrection sense, that is Kefera. Okay, creation, being created, being renewed. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It does. It does cover the heart. It does cover the heart. It does. It does. You are correct. But as far as I don't see pictures of Zephyr with Anubis. But you are correct. There are a lot of kafera at the heart. Once it is all done, they place it there. Why? Because they're hoping that the ancestors being renewed and recreated into the duat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, and the thing is, it's sometimes we take everything literal, but there's a lot of duality. There's a lot of symbolism in comedic science, and we can't cover everything. I can't even tell you. I don't know everything. You see what I'm saying? But what I do know is that there is some information out there that I like to read and find out myself, right? But yeah, get a book, get one. I'm a big advocate for good, solid books. You see what I'm saying? There are some. Go with go with the elders first. If you ever if you ever want to know something, here's another. If you ever want to know something, if you ever want to find a starting point, everyone find a starting point. Dr. Ben, Black man of the Nile family. This guy, he was a real life college professor at Cornell University. And these Zungu, the Tuba, would turn around and say this was pseudoscience when he taught at their university, bro. So yeah, I would do it. I would give it. What's going on? One was Africa. Shout out to brother Isu. He is one of our Ujumbe members. He's in the mix. What's going on? Yeah, but yeah, I would start there. I would start with Dr. Ben, and of course the book coming for by day, and then go from there. But you you come up with your own thoughts and your own ideas, and we can have this conversation, right? Here's another one: sacred science. This is heavy. This the idea about the temple being part of a person or connected to a person, right? Came from this book or came from this author, and how the book of Gates and everything broke it down. Okay, and how the book of Gates was a journey. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, get a good book. I'm a strong advocate for. Oh, let me see. Library Without Borders speaketh. So I'm curious to see how much you can dig out when it comes to Nigerian culture with Kemetic culture and possibly triangular link between Congo, Nigeria, and Kemetic culture. See, Library Without Borders is trying. Look, school just started. You trying to give it a work. Wait a minute. Yeah, if you want, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. We're gonna go and do that. We're gonna make this a concerted effort. You understand me? Yeah, we're gonna make that connection. We're gonna make that happen. Library Without Borders is making a humble request. You see what I'm saying? To make that triangulated effort to connect all three. And so yeah, this is gonna be great. Sister Auntie Linda said my brother left that book with me when he left to Morocco, and I decided to start reading it. It is a good read. It is. It is. Yeah. He said, I'm trying you. I know. Yeah, yeah, you trying. Because school just started. I'm trying to get a little bit of September off, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna do it. we we're gonna see all that. Yeah, we're gonna see all that. Yeah. And I really appreciate. Thank you, One Voice Africa. Thank you. He is a esteemed one of our esteemed members. He's awesome. I really appreciate him. He's very supportive, and he's an Ujumbe member. He's very helpful and insightful. He also has a podcast, by the way. Shout out to him. He does more of the modern era. He does Pan-Africanism, and he does it well. Check out One Voice Africa. They're awesome. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And so yeah, and don't forget, Yahya Shabaka will be here hopefully next week or the week after next. I'll let you guys know, but yeah, he's gonna talk about the Carnival, and Library Without Borders is trying to get us be on this thing on this live for like 2 hours and some change. But we're gonna make it a day. We're gonna make that happen. Because in one of my podcasts I did allude to it, because remember there was once a yellow Nile that extended towards Lake Chad, right? And so what happened is a lot of migration went westward, even before Greco-Roman imperialism, right? So a lot of that Kemetic culture and everything went westward, and we gotta remember that Congo and Uganda is the great grandmother of Ethiopia and Kush in there. We gotta yield the floor to that. No, it's not the exact same. It is not. It's not. It's not the exact same. But we see a line. We see some lines of similarity there. Be it language, be it practices and things like that. Yeah. 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 Shout out to One West Africa. Shout out to Brother Issa. He's awesome. And so yeah. But yeah, we're gonna make that happen. There's been people, especially our new people, the new Ujumbe family, that want to know. And I'll be more than glad to have the conversation, because it's very important that we do. Because if not, what we will have is a lot of people that want to know but are not finding out by people that are trained to teach. Yours truly, I am a teacher for real, for real. In America, I am a history or social studies teacher. I'm certified to teach, and I'm also a department chair. And so I design curriculum and mentor new teachers. What's happening is that what I'm seeing is a lot of people are throwing out a lot of information, but they're not teaching. So, or they don't have that pacing to where people can understand it. Just throwing a lot of information, a lot of sound bites, and you just catch it. No, I want the people to learn. So that's the reason why I'm taking my time. And Sister Haynes she encouraged me to take my time and slow down, because I would go 1,000 miles an hour. But I'm here to share, and here's the thing, the way I teach here is very similar to how I teach my high schoolers, except without all the graphics and everything. But yeah, what you get here is what my high schoolers would get. You see? And so but it is a joy to do. And we're almost, and get this, I know it's not a big deal to some of you, but this podcast has been in existence for 5 years, but we just got active seriously a year ago. And you guys, all of you have, and let me get out this, all of you have been a blessing to us. And we're almost at that 4,000 watch hour threshold or whatever for YouTube monetization. And so it's something for you guys to put up with me. And sometimes, like Baba Yakia, he would correct me when I'm wrong, and that's fine, or hold me accountable. Okay, Miss Blue. And so I really appreciate it. And you guys are actually telling me what you guys want and what to do. You know, this is your podcast also. You see what I'm saying? This is not me. This is not me by myself. This is our podcast. You see what I'm saying? Ujumbe means message, right? And so, yeah. But is there anything else? Anything else? Oh yeah, but the twin sphinx though. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that next week. We're gonna get into that. Are there anything else? Any other questions or concerns before I turn you loose? Oh, I thought about this. Now remember our Queen of the South series, right? Which was amazing. I'm thinking about doing something special for Queen Sebek Neferu's father. What do y'all think? Because that was great. Queens of the South series was awesome, but Amenemhat the third had 42 years of knowledge and information. I need to know. What do y'all think? Do you think we need to have a conversation about her father? Yeah, because he built the Black Pyramid, and he dealt with the the esoteric science and alchemy and everything also. So, you know, let me know. But now, if there's nothing else, I don't want to hold you. But yeah, if you once again, if you're interested in checking out the Book of Gates, I got that. There'll be a video there. And if you want to check out the hidden code, if you want to catch up on the playlist, let us I got that too. But if there's nothing else, I really appreciate you guys. You listen to King Cam Ujumbe Podcast. Ujumbe means message. And today's message is Guardians of the Afterlife and the bonus, Anubis Speaks. All right. And I will talk to you later.